Okay. Hello, Glitch Reaper here again. This is going to be my special 1,000 plus page view special I was promising. I was wanting to do this a lot earlier, but I had some interference, technical issues. But now, I'm ready to go. And it's really cool. I also fixed my duplicator tree problem. I managed to find these before there was various reconfigures, or maybe I forgot I configured it before and had to reconfigure it again. But I got my duplicator trees up and running, and this is something I was hunting for all pretty much through, well, episode 2. First episode was the whole TARDIS thing, which I love being in, and I was trying to show off how it works. This was what I was looking for in episode 2. Well, not this. This I had like one of before, but now I've got plenty. This is Transformium War. This is for the Transformers mob. And I'm gonna love tearing some of this out. But I gotta be careful. I mean, this pick is really fast. The duplicator trees work like this. You get one of their logs. Just one. And what will happen after that is the tree will essentially grow itself. So, well, here's like some in its earlier stages that haven't fully grown yet. But this is a duplicator tree log. You pick one up, you place it, and it turns itself into a tree, unlike regular trees which use saplings. This is part of Orespawn, which has a lot of cool stuff. These are part of the ultimate set of armor, which I've already got a set of. This is I think this is uranium or titanium, this one's uranium or titanium. I forget which is which off the top of my head. Of course I could grab another block and remember. Okay, so this is titanium, that's uranium. I just forgot for a moment. But anyhow, these will multiply those out. That's part of the reason why I get so much stuff. But I have additional combinations here and there. And I was trying to show off the full thing of my plan for how to have unlimited materials. And... thank you, Morph. I love that mod. You can pull some those. Gosh. Whee! That is so fun. Okay, do I have... I think I have a furnace in my... like... yeah, nope. I don't have a furnace in this room. Huh. Thought I did. Well, I only need, like... I'm gonna do, like... oh, I forget. The hitbox on this thing's weird. I keep forgetting that. When you're a dark island... well, the mob that moderates it, it makes it really weird. I think I'm gonna put some right here. I'm gonna need some of this later, but... see, how much of this do I need? I need... okay, I need a block of this. I need 2 blocks of diamond. I got plenty of nether stars. Oh, it's now blocks of transformium? Huh, they did change it. It used to be like 4 transformium, so I need more of this, actually. I really thought I was going to get to that a little quicker. Go figure. But at least now that means it has a storage block. Yeah, it's a storage block. It keeps them back. It can be calcinated, but it doesn't have like an innate value, I think? No, I guess anything without a value is automatically turned into ash. And that could be a waste. You could have something like super powerful and it just goes poof. Well, that's disappointing. I only have enough for 1 storage block. I need 4. Well, I guess I can use some of this. Still haven't feng shuied my witchery stuff yet. I need to do that. I've done some stuff with it. I keep putting the stuff back in. Trying to think of a theme for around here. Alex, if you're watching, help. I'm thinking netherrack and red, because you can actually recolor these. Somebody else showed me that. I showed him how to use the TARDIS, and he showed me how to color it. Go figure. Okay. Now this will only come into effect if I use... only if I use... like gold ore. So this is from witchery. These things here will collect silver if you're processing gold, but only gold. It does not operate with anything else for some weird reason. Okay, well, you could sort of think that's actually natural, the like precious materials being together and all that. Wait, while I'm at it, I almost forgot a really cool thing I found out. Now, I haven't actually bought my book these yet, but I should, because I was collecting these the old-fashioned way. That is not exactly going to be a good thing, because you have to keep doing that, and going over and over, and yeah, it happens. At least you get all sorts of stuff along the way. But I'm going to teach my book how to make that. Now, I've already taught it several things before, and I've also found out more about how the listing works. Apparently, if you're in this, which allows you to transmute your stuff, it won't even show an object if you don't have enough points left. So that is a very interesting thing. Okay, wait, do I have my book in here? Yeah, I have my book in here. I really should just make more of these books and have them all over the place, because they will actually, in fact, work in a Bibliocraft bookshelf display. So I guess it counts it. I mean, maybe it figures everything made from a book. I don't know exactly how it determines it, but basically now I can make all these saplings that I want. I think it's because in equivalent exchange, it just counts it as a sapling. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in Witchery that doesn't work because it's modded, but some things in mods are technically just variations of vanilla stuff. So, I can convert all these Witchery saplings, and now I can make them unlimitedly, as well as a piece of rowan wood. Now, this is important because if I want to make more altar blocks to power up my altar, I would need more of those, because it's like very specific. Now, I can also use rowan wood for some other stuff too, so it's not just for that. I mean, it can be very decorative. You can make doors out of it and other things, and I think you can do that with alder or hawthorn, I think. Because it has variations a lot. There's actually a lot more decorative stuff in Witchery than you first realize. Let's see, is there anything else let me see, I went with that. I think I've got those ready. That's a lot of Eye of Hinder, but it'll be fine. Never mind. Anyhow, it's going to show off several things, including my material combo. But yeah, if you're as a dark floating island, remember the hitbox and how it corresponds with other things gets really weird. I was doing something just outside my... That's still here, and... Of all the coincidences, this is the guy who was teaching how to use the TARDIS. A fellow YouTuber by the name of Pickles. This is his hat. I'm still getting a flying hat entity in my TARDIS, and it's him. Oh gosh, that's hilarious. There is no possible way to plan that, because that's been like some random hat the whole time. I had no idea. Anyhow, I'll turn back to myself and finally show what I was going to do for my special here. Okay. Now you notice here, I have my little museum in my TARDIS library. I noticed it did not come with too much display pieces other than the actual instruction manual. So... yeah, just a moment, I was just checking my time. Don't worry, I'm still going. But anyhow, I decided to make this into a museum, put in my own personal library, which is currently mainly on one side. But anyhow, I decided to put in these armor stands from Bibliocraft. As you can see the interface here, the vanilla armor stand, if you're more familiar with those, is an entity, not a block. So I can push myself into this or stand even on top of this stuff. I can't do that with a vanilla armor stand. On the other hand, it's a bit slicker, like you just click on the spots and you get your stuff on or off. So there's differences. I've heard these can be powered to just let you take it all at once and stuff for really cool methods, but either way, the whole concept of storing and displaying your stuff has been around for a while, and I decided to make a museum out of it. Now, you're also probably noticing the signs. Well, this is because these are all my subs now. Now, I don't have too terribly many, and some of them I know a bit more than others. Apple. Anyhow, but you see here, we have Jason Augustin, he's recent, Kai Taylor, Norsk Pro 123, Jill Corder, Excalibur. Now, I know him personally, I've been on some servers with him. He's actually done some Minecraft maps, one of which you may be very familiar with. Excalibur is the one who did Stonefast, or... yeah, I think it's Stonefast. For some weird reason, I keep thinking Stonebound, but I know it's Stonefast. It's this humongous, epic RPG-styled map with a lot of cool redstone stuff, including some features you probably won't want to miss. I mean, dude, he did some great stuff. It's just, wow. Diamond Crafting. WPC S-Ray. Yeah, R-A-Y. I don't think it's supposed to be a spray. I think it's an S-Ray. but WPCS Ray. That does sound cool. Now, for some odd reason, I could not get the sword I was trying to put with this in the sword pedestal, which is also from Mobzilla, so for some odd reason they don't all work with it. I thought it was registered with a weapon like a lot of things, like, can I register my chainsaw? I can register my chainsaw, but not the experience sword. What's up with that? I have no idea. Sometimes Crazycraft works out cool, and sometimes it just seems to be a bit buggy. Here's, anyhow, going down the line, MVF314. I think this is probably the, oops, yes, lava eel set. Note to self, don't always rev your chainsaw. Anyhow, Thomas Beagler. Still don't have a set over here. Now, I will eventually have these all filled in, by the way. We have Ethan Black. We have Ion 12. And this is also where I got my ultimate set. I'm going to have to switch those out at some point, because I'm going to need that for some big combat coming up. Forgotten Druid. I'm saving the Royal Guardian for you, because or maybe something more nature-based, but I mean, we got witchery in here. Whatever you'd like to go with, man. I mean, I can switch some of these around, and like for leather, Jason, if you want me to do this a particular color, please say so. Because I'm sort of having these correspond, for now. And Nathan is bored. Yeah, here's a guy I know pretty well. We're both part of the Super Mario World glitch community, and I showed off an interesting thing, and he probably mentioned it down the line, so it got more into the community. And it was actually used by Seth Bling for his world record-breaking moment whenever he actually got Super Mario World done with that special glitch. And it's basically what you call a wrong warp glitch. It's whenever it sort of throws you into the wrong location, or it does something it's not supposed to do, and it just sends you right to the credits. So technically he built the sorry. I'm going a little too fast for myself here. I apologize. But anyhow, Seth Bling managed to beat the game so quickly that he has the world record for it, or at least he did have for a while. I don't know if anybody's gotten faster than that, and on the actual cartridge. To do this, he used one of my glitches as part of it. And I think that was really cool that I was a major part of that, and it's partially because of Nathan. He sort of got me back into the game of getting into glitch work with Super Mario World, which is classic. I don't know if my channel will be able to do that anymore, because we all know the Nintendo situation is a bit wonky. So I'm not entirely sure, still, that's the greatest coincidence ever, I'm still not entirely sure what's going to happen with that. So if anybody thinks they can basically vouch for me and say, yeah, we'll take responsibility for that if you just go full-on glitch, man, then I'll totally go for it. But I'm not entirely sure how things are going with that. They have this weird program with that compared with other people. I mean, Minecraft and Mojang, they're cool with it. So some other places, just checking on my duplicator trees, why won't you grow? You guys are doing great. I sometimes these things are also a bit weird. But anyhow, I'm going to go out and show a bit more of my big combo and what I was originally intending on doing. Because, well, also where I got this particular morph. I may switch this out for something from the Nether, because, let's face it, I should probably get, like, Blaze Power or something. Oh, yeah, that's right. Woo! Lag spike. Didn't happen last time. Maybe they updated at the exact same time. It happens. Anyhow. See, this is what I turned into. This is called a Dark Floating Island. It's a mob from Orespawn that very specifically, it moderates these floating islands, is what it really does. And notice here is a piece of amethyst ore from Orespawn. Now, I haven't seen other modded ores, like I've only seen vanilla and Orespawn stuff. Oh, there it updated. Sweet. Notice how it added one. Well, you can speed up the process by every time that you take one, you put, like, smooth stone back. But eventually they will regenerate their smooth stone on their own. And that makes this really cool. I've gotten gold this way, I've gotten amethyst and ruby, and of course there's coal. There's ones that makes, like, iron and stuff. I'm not sure if there's all different forms of these, but how you get these is you go into a specific dimension called the Danger Dimension, and you either, I'm not sure if killing these will give them to you, I think they might, but Morph sometimes interferes with stuff like that, so I'm not 100% certain on that, because I haven't really got one that way yet myself. But anyhow, if you basically just fly along the ground and you look for these little flowers they are what generates those islands. You'll plant them down on the ground, and then they'll start, like, having these particle effects, and then they make these nice floating islands. So, these will just give you materials. Isn't that cool? Just give you stuff. Like, there's iron. Now, I can make as much of, like, iron and stuff that I want, but these things are modded, and they don't show their exchange value. If they don't have an exchange value, you can't turn something into it. You may be able to calcinate it into ash, like that other thing was showing, but you can't turn stuff into it, and that is really important. So you need another source, and that's what that's handling. Now, something I was going to do, but apparently can't because they changed the recipe, is getting that transformium seed. What it does is it basically blasts the entire area into a giant mass of transformium, and you just take the kind of stone it generates, smelt that up for more, and you pretty much just keep on going. And I was going to do that at a particular location, but that may have to wait. Speaking of wait, I need to check my... Oh, no, speaking of time. Apparently, the sun would like to agree with me and something else, so I shall indulge it. Moing. Aha. I love this thing. Thank you, Angry Pac-Man, for giving me that tier. Wouldn't think it'd be so good at it, but yeah, thank you. Just thank you. Okay. I'll probably wind up running into him at some point soon, yeah. Hey, chicken. Yep. I can't... Okay. Really gotta remember the hitbox for this thing's a little weird. Like it. Come on. This also disturbs your mining, by the way, whenever you're doing that, so maybe I'll just turn back to me. Ish. Okay, transformation complete. I also may change my skin periodically, so don't be too surprised. I guess you could say I'm the opposite of Direwolf 20 on that one. Him and me both think similarly on mods, but when it comes down to it, he pretty much just goes with the standard default Steve skins, since that sort of wound up being his thing after a while, since he just totally didn't decide on one so long that people were just going, hey, now it'd be weird if you weren't Steve. Well, that's an interesting little problem. With me, I've changed it up periodically. I've made some skins, so it happens. So it's sort of the opposite on that. Now let me see, I've done my museum. Oh, now I remember what I was going to do. Okay. Now this ought to help. Okay, now I already have a Big Bertha due to lucky block drops, because they can drop the pieces. No, I have not seen one drop the whole thing. I've seen the pieces. Like, I've gotten... I don't mean like these either, which you get from bosses. Although that is good. I've whacked one of you, especially Mothra. I mean, right out there is a forest. You could sort of see how that goes. I mean, Mothra does spawn a lot in the forest, so yeah, I've encountered more than one. So that totally happens. Although you do get a lot of moss scales in one shot. So see, I think this one I was going to do amethyst here. I like how it equips right to you, because that is actually your armor slots on that side. Okay. I'm going to set up the TARDIS for a very particular flight. I may need to... Oh, I need to remind myself of a few controls. It's been a while. It's one thing that's a real downside to how that works off. Okay. Console. Let me see here. I know I got my dimensional selector around it somewhere. That's not the big deal. I need to know where my... land and ground control. I need to turn that back off, because I'm going to want to specifically be in midair for this. I had it on for so long because I couldn't think of any reason why I'd turn it off, because it helps your TARDIS land on the ground specifically. Like, it'll seek out within so many blocks, whether or not it's on the ground. And is it already out? Okay, I think it may have already been out. Maybe it's the other way around. Let me see here. I think I got that. Let me see here. It says whether your TARDIS will try to land on the ground, out, or not in. Okay, I had to press it in. That was it. But anyhow, since I'm going to be heading off now, I will be making a transition to the Chaos Dimension. Now, let me see here. Is that... yeah, the Dimension lever is on the same side. See, I knew that was part of the takeoff. I was trying to remember which one that one was. That was the Dimension lever I was looking for. Okay, I'll set that up, and then should be getting ready to go. I got a little time left on the recording, so I think I'll head off after while I was pushing. Pull this back. The end. I'll get there eventually. Nether. That one's unidentified. It's unidentified. Here. Why is it not saying it here? 1 minute. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to use the other thing. Oh, there it is. Chaos Dimension. Okay, I'll set up some coordinates and I'll be back. Now, well, actually first, maybe I should discuss a few things because I just remembered what else I was going to discuss in this particular episode, actually. And it's actually sort of interesting. But, yeah, basically my setup. A lot of people may be wondering how to do recordings, and there's more than one way to do it. I actually use an actual camera pointed at the screen, and then I convert the files. I use a free program called Handbrake to get the files from the camera into a format that I can edit. When I edit, I use Movie Maker. Movie Maker is actually pretty good freeware as well. And one of the best things about it is it converts it into forms that YouTube can use directly, including a higher fidelity one that I use because YouTube doesn't really take it all the right way, so you'll lose some quality, so I actually purposely make sure to have it higher quality first before I load. It doesn't take me too terribly long to do the editing, just a little bit longer than what I consider an episode itself. And then after that, things get interesting because the actual upload itself is just horrific. Like, actually getting it converted doesn't take long, but the upload is hilariously long. So, as I bid you do, just know that there's different ways that this whole thing works. There are ways around using recording software. And that's a big deal because recording software, it doesn't work out as good as you might think. It causes lag on the actual system. It doesn't exactly record in the quality that you think it does, and it can cause all sorts of technical difficulties, some which you might not even notice until you upload to YouTube. So, as YouTubers, we gotta consider our options. Now, I'm a bit more old school because I was used to other things too, and there's certain types of technical things I was already good with, so I thought, well, let's alleviate a lot of the stress from the system, make things work out better. And so well, floating hat's temporarily gone. There's interesting. I'm going to be pondering how in the world that works for a long time. But anyhow, as YouTubers, we gotta consider that we have additional options, and that there are ways of still operating and getting ourselves ready without having to deal with some of these technical problems that have been plaguing us for a while. Now, not everybody will be able to do this, but hopefully you'll at least consider this for later. So I bid you adieu for now. This is Glitch Reaper, and I hope to be seeing you later. Bye.